feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
How's everybody doing? Hello. It is that time of the week again. Welcome to Total Apex Media Podcast. I'm your host, Corey. Joining me as always is Michelle, Molly, Brandon, and Andrew. How's everybody doing this week?
Fantabulous.
Lovely. Tuesday, Monday. I saw that. That's funny.
We have entered a false spring in Georgia into the south and the east, and it's messing with my allergies.
Yeah, it was spring today, and then it became winter. And then a dragon came out of nowhere and just, yeah.
Did he give you the balls to wish on?
Right. Don't touch those Dragon Balls. Tonight on the show, we are going through our recalls, of course. Then we are talking, and we're also talking about PS6 links and SAG versus AI. But first, sports and NBA All-Stars with Brandon and Andrew in sports.
Thanks, Corey. So for sports, we didn't get that much since we just had the NBA All-Star break and then the Olympics, but we'll touch on that a bit later. But first, we have some NFL news. The Dolphins are going through a brand new regime with Jeff Hafley, and they kind of just cut most of their starters from last year. Tyreek Hill coming off of that broken ankle and Bradley Chubb, and then they're starting offensive lineman James Daniels and NWI, which stands for Nick Westbrook Akine. Brandon, we're not that surprised by these moves. But the interesting thing is, where do you think they will land in free agency?
So an underrated spot for Chubb would be reunited with Vic in Philly. That would be interesting if we can't re-sign Jalen Phillips. I think Howie does a flyer move on Chubb for the year to address the edge rusher. But that's only if we can't re-sign Jalen Phillips, the younger, more talented edge, or in my opinion. Hill is going to be the more intriguing name out of the names you said, out of the names that were cut by Miami. Just because he's still Tyreek Hill, even though he's coming off a serious knee injury. So for me, I think Tyreek would be a perfect landing spot for a New England team or a Buffalo team that needs a receiver. That's what I'm thinking. But I could see him going back to Kansas City. So
yeah, that too. We of course we have to plug our favorite teams, the Eagles, and I heard maybe the Ravens might be interested at 30-year-old. It's not shown on here, but Mike Evans apparently he's gonna enter free agency and see what his options are. That's another receiver, closer to 30, and kind of coming off of his worst year due to injuries and things, but on the right team, they could probably maybe they could rebound next year. The other news was Travis Hunter is primarily going to play corner and less receiver before he got hurt in his rookie year. He was actually making an impact. He had one of the better catches of the season against the Chiefs. But now he's going to play primarily corner. I still don't get the draft pick. trading
Yeah.
up for him still, like, it doesn't make that much sense to me. What are your thoughts on that?
So, sorry, dynasty owners that drafted him last year,
Yeah.
think he was going to get more. So, yeah, I'm just like, that is crazy. For his dynasty owners. But I think that Jacksonville made the smart move here because I think they need more corner depth, and Travis would be a perfect corner in this league. Especially after them getting Jacoby Myers last year, I could see this coming a little bit. With Brian Thomas Jr. and Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington on that as their three main guys that will get targets.
Yeah,
I mean, I would still like this. I still like to see him get some sprinkle in offense. So
yeah, like I'm not even gonna rule out like Myers is gonna be there. Like they shouldn't trade Parker Washington. He's their kind of like blown up out of nowhere guy. Like you don't really want to trade guys like that. Like just because of the money they're due and whatnot. But Brian Thomas Jr. I've heard some trade rumors like. I just don't know if he has chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. I haven't seen it in like 2 years. You know, the big rookie year he had, it was mostly after Lawrence went down with Mac Jones. So I don't know like what that means in terms of like, you know, the future connection with Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. But you know, if they ship him off, then that definitely opens the door. Like they could, you know, use him kind of how they did last year, but just maybe switch the two positions, like more like 60-40 or something. The other news was, you know, after Will Campbell got kind of embarrassed in the Super Bowl. I mean, in the playoffs, he kind of was not great, but you know they're keeping his optimism up and you know saying we're gonna keep him at left tackle for the Patriots. But I don't know if that's gonna work out just because like there were all the things with his arm length and he was having a good season overall before he went down, but like you know teams are gonna look at his tape and just be like, give me a guy with like speed and see if you can just burn him off the edge like. I mean, do you think they should move him to guard potentially?
That's tough because you also drafted a rookie left guard too, and you would rather have him on the left side than trying to move him to the right side. I would just at this point I'd rather just try to stick him out left tackle. I get what you're saying with the speed because that's basically what Seattle did,
right?
All night, and that's what happened in that game. But at the same time, I would say the injury played a key factor into his, bad playoffs, more so than his arm length, in my opinion. If he can learn a better technique to combat his arm, so that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna tie these two topics together. You know, the Falcons have their, new. What was the owner? Like he's like a part owner, right? Like,
he's like the president, technically.
President, right?
President of football operations, I think.
Yeah, he's not committal to Penix Jr. like long term, which actually I do get because you know like that's not the guy he drafted, and the guys who they drafted him are fired, so. Yeah, you definitely need competition with that. And, Anthony Richardson requests a trade. If the Colts get back Daniel Jones, then I feel like, like to give him like it's like him and like Minnesota with McCarthy. Like maybe two young guys can work it out. I know you probably would like a veteran in there, but someone's got to win out these quarterback battles.
No, that's the thing with Atlanta's situation, right? With Ryan saying now it's, going down. He ain't sticking with Penix long term. That's probably because he wants to get his own guy in there, and the 27th quarterback class is going to be pretty elite right now when you look at the 27 class, and they'll have their first round pick back. So there's that. They don't have a first round pick this year, so that also kind of sucks towards the Penix Jr. experience. If they wanted to trade for Anthony Richardson, that's an interesting position too with Anthony Richardson wanting to trade, because he hasn't really proven anything on the NFL field yet, other than that he can get hurt and he throws a lot of interceptions and a lot of incompletions. So that's where I'm at with the Anthony Richardson stuff. I just don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he came out of college too early and he wasn't ready. It's one of those situations that he wasn't ready. Like, look at Trinidad Chambliss. I don't think he's ready either, and he's going back to Ole Miss for another season. So he probably should have came back to Florida for another year before, but he declared, wasn't, and then the injuries have gotten him. Because he was too determined to scramble. So.
Yeah, and then we have some minor news with the Titans logo rebranding to it basically looks like the Oilers stuff. I don't know why they just don't go back to that fully. And then showing relegated to scouting with the new FVP Don Aponte. I also don't get why they kept showing he's gonna get canned. The Harbaugh signing or hiring just signaled that as well. And then we got a few quick ones. The Falcons the Browns hired their new DC from Atlanta. The Ravens hired their new OC, but Clint Kubiak's going to be calling the plays. And the Seahawks hired the Niners tight end coach as their OC. That's actually interesting because I really thought they would hire from in-house, but I guess not.
The thing with the Seahawks hiring the tight ends coach real quick before we move on to our NBA stuff is I think they just wanted to, somebody that kind of knew the Shanahan McVay system still. And in-house, you see what the Eagles did with in-house this year. It wasn't that great. So maybe give this guy outside the house that knows the system kind of a chance to be the OC. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, but we can move on to the NBA. You could just speak on what you thought of the All-Star weekend. I actually thought it was pretty entertaining, and then all the Twitter stuff that went down, that was hilarious.
So for me, NBA All-Star Weekend, you can break it down to all 3 nights. Friday night was great with the Rising Stars format. That they set the tone of how the weekend, at least with the games, were going to be. Saturday night, the 3-point contest was great as always, with Dame and Booker coming down to the wire. The Shooting Stars was lackluster, to say the least. I figured the Knicks were going to win that, but that is lackluster. The dunk contest, though, what can I say? What can I say that is YouTube friendly, podcast friendly? I can just say this. I'll just do my Charles Barkley.
Just pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Well, I'm gonna do my Charles Barkley impression. Terrible. It was just terrible.
Yeah, it was a disgrace, honestly. Even as a new viewer.
Yeah. And that's the thing of it is, too, you see Mac McClung post the 4 dunks he would have done on Instagram minutes after Kashad Johnson wins the contest. Yeah, you can see that McClung was going to win this contest again for a 4th straight year. So there's that. But the main event was Sunday, and I am proud of Victor Wembanyama. I am proud of Anthony Edwards for setting the tone in the first game, because when they set the tone in the first game, I was like, I knew we were going to be in for a great night of games. All the first 3 games were amazing. I think the 4th game would have been good, but I think the Stripes team, the old heads, got tired because they just played 3 straight games. That's where I could see the format tweaking a little bit, maybe spacing it out a little bit. these games because one team playing 3 straight games can be detrimental, especially to how intense they were playing defensively. So that's something they might tweak, but they might not, but we'll see what happens with that. But I love the All-Star Sunday this year. Most people are going to hate on it, if they are going to hate on it, but I think most people loved it this year. So the effort was there. That's all we really wanted with these guys, to show the effort and wanting to play in the game, so I credit Victor Wembanyama for doing that first and foremost. So thank you, Alien. So.
Yeah. And then finally, your Winter Olympics update. Yeah, I saw my parents were actually watching the short track like yesterday in the morning or whatever. So it's full send right now.
And also, too, we have Elena Myers-Taylor winning the bobsled for the U.S. Her first medal in her 5th Olympics, or her first gold medal. I'll take that back. Her first gold medal in the bobsled, which was great. Eileen Gu had the silver medal in the big air in skiing, and another U.S. guy won the silver medal as well in a great event. The men's big air was great. If y'all want to watch that back on Peacock. Michaela Schifrin didn't make it in the medals of the giant slalom. She still has the slalom left, which is her best event later this week on tomorrow, I think it is. And then trying to think of the hockey's U.S. women's hockey's winning the gold medal game against Canada. They've been the best team so far. I expect them to beat Canada in the women's hockey. The quarterfinals, U.S. and Canada are the top 2 seeds in the men's hockey, so we'll expect that. To be the matchup in the gold medal game in the men's as well. But Sweden can provide an upset in that tournament to the U.S. most likely. In the U.S. maybe, but it will be interesting to see.
But yeah, that's all we got for sports coming from me and Brandon. So stay tuned on Friday for we have part 2 of the free agency preview coming out.
Yes.
All right, everybody. And I have to say, usually my favorite part of the NBA All-Stars weekend is the celebrity games. Especially I saw a clip of Keegan-Michael Key just being him, just being himself.
I forgot to mention that earlier, too. The celebrity game was actually pretty decent this year from what I saw. So, go ahead.
Do the celebrities train to do the NBA stuff? Like the boxing tournament that the YouTube content creators fight against each other for?
No.
I think the only thing for the celebrity game, they shouldn't have former NBA players in it. They should just have just make it even playing field. Because
though, Taco Fall this year though kind of made it interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Or have a bunch of former NBA players going against each other then.
True. I get what you're saying there. That's the thing. I like the aspect of NBA players, but that's the thing that a lot of the former NBA players don't really try in this celebrity game, to be honest with you, to take over. So,
all right. Well, were any of the celebrity players AI?
Well, I don't think so.
Were they?
I think we're gonna find out in entertainment. Alrighty. So guys, this week AI has been a very big thing. So imagine this. You're scrolling through your social media feed on a Tuesday morning, just like you just woke up from a bender or something. Who knows? Isn't that right, Brandon?
Why did you single him out?
Wow.
Wow.
Man. That's what it is.
Hey, I'm on the flow. All right. You pause because you see a video of Tom Cruise. He's on the roof. he's trading blows with none other than Brad Pitt. And of course, the lighting is perfect. The choreography is versatile. The faces are a little uncanny. So for a split second, you think, did I miss a movie trailer? Did I miss a new Mission Impossible crossover or something? And here's the catch: never happened. Neither actors, stepped on set at all. Neither even signed a contract or got paid a dime. Welcome to Hollywood's deep seek moment, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So right now we're gonna kind of deep dive a little bit into the chaos triggered by ByteDance's new AI model, C Dance 2.0. Now, have any of you guys actually seen any of this stuff before yet?
No, I haven't.
I've heard rumor about it, but I have not delved into any more news about it.
So we're talking almost flawlessness digital puppetry, and it's not making SAG, the SAG Screen Actors Guild, happy about it, of course, because
they're fighting.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at it like this: they're using somebody's face, and they're putting it on a digital model and everything. Same thing with there's anime clips up there. There's people up there taking faces of people who are passed and doing something like that. So
yeah.
So ByteDance, of course, is the parent company of TikTok, which released a new video generation model, of course, called C-Dance. In the world of tech, they're calling it a DeepSeek moment. That refers to a Chinese AI model that recently shocked Silicon Valley by outperforming American tech giants. C-Dance, of course, is the video equivalent of that. And it's surprisingly almost good. I'm going to say almost because there's still some stuff there and whatnot.
The uncanny valley effect.
There's always going to be that, of course. For example, there was a clip of Sean Astin, who is the president of SAG. But, of course, most people know him as Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. And it's literally just asking, basically, oh, how come we just don't take the Eagles and take the ring and throw it in the, go to Mordor there and whatnot. So it has not been a very good week, of course, because of that at all, especially legally. So, of course, Hollywood isn't taking it lying down. There have been legal letters flying here and there and whatnot. Disney, of course, who is always fast for cease and desist. Disney is, of course, trying to protect their IP with an iron fist. Reportedly sent a cease and desist letter to ByteDance, and they're claiming that C-Dance is essentially created a pirate library full of their characters. But strong language really came from the Motion Picture Association and SAG. I'm going to butcher this person's name. Charles Reifkin, CEO of the MPA, called this a smash and grab of intellectual property. And SAG, well, they're not happy. So they issued a statement calling it a blatant infringement. They pointed out that this technology is undercuts the ability of human talent to earn a living. So, what are you guys thinking so far?
I am thinking that it's going to be a common occurrence within any industry for AI. Is going to try and utilize AI because we have been seeing reports on it within the entertainment world with the whole actor strike because of AI generated scripts and stuff like that. Then we have the gaming industry where companies are laying off like laying off departments because they've decided to utilize AI to to replace workers instead of using it as a tool to like help the workers be more efficient at their jobs. Basically, this is going to be another case of, if used incorrectly, AI is going not used ethically. AI is going to be used to replace like the extras, I guess you could say, or like, or just, rip off like big names, as Disney is probably well aware of that could happen. But it's a long conversation, and the guidelines need to start getting like written for this type of thing, because it's not going away.
Well, the problem is that the government has already failed to protect creators because authors have been experiencing problems with AI for a long while now. Because, of course, AI creating written material was much easier than the video and stuff like that. But now we're seeing music, we're seeing video, we're seeing getting better. It's been there, but now it's getting better to the point where it's hard for people to, even people who are looking for it, are having a hard time telling the difference. The Authors Guild has been fighting for the rights of authors for quite some time, and basically the government's like, if they buy a copy of your book and they scan it into their AI model, they can do that.
You can do about it. Yeah.
Right.
So
is SAG going to? I heard something about SAG maybe renegotiating later this year again, like with the SAG strike. Probably, if this is like a huge impact, it could have a huge impact on that.
Well, getting into the SAG strike of things, thank you. So actors, of course, spent months picketing on the picket lines. They shut down the industry. We weren't getting anything really. Like, we were getting stuff that was kind of left over. And it was a huge part of the fight was, of course, was about this exact scenario. So they fought for, of course, consent and compensation. They wanted the right to say no to having their likeness scanned, of course, and of course, used in what's the word?
Perpetuity?
Yes, perpetuity. Oh, there it is.
I am
the launch of Sea Dance 2.0 feels like a direct challenge to those hard-won protections. So it's going to be a very touchy subject for the next couple weeks, but I wanted to present to you guys a couple of these videos to see what you guys actually think. So is it my end or your end? I think it's your end.
What?
Michelle, can you bring up the video that Corey's put up there?
Share screen.
I see
the share.
This one.
There we go.
Yep. So I'm going to show you guys a couple here. All right, so this is just a little anime girl. Hopefully it plays. Can you guys imagine seeing somebody do like in live action, like quote unquote live action anime that way?
Yeah, I can. And what's so bad is that I have this conversation with a bunch of people. A lot of, if you want to play, you can.
Well, no, I don't want to play over you. You're talking.
Okay. Well, it's mostly that stuff like this, honestly, is being, like I said, is being utilized incorrectly because people are trying to replace hardworking individuals in doing stuff, because this is an animator's job. That is their job to do this. But, and those protections that we were talking about earlier are needed. But what about the small time studios that need like AI? They could utilize AI to help them compete on the wider stage when it comes to this stuff. It's really convoluted in my honest opinion. But
Yeah.
I can see studios like big name studios doing this just because they wanted to save a couple of like $1,000 because they didn't have to pay anybody, and that
Right.
is
I think
that is
really
unethical.
I think it's really gonna come down to like the actual like what is the context of that fight or whatever, because like I watched like a lot of anime like hand drawn, but I'm not like too impressed like even like hand drawn unless like it like the context like suits it, like kind of like Demon Slayer. It's like a lot of flash, and I know that that's hand drawn and everything. But if I know something's like built with AI before, I probably just won't watch it. Just
This is it. This is a full anime right here. Like this is.
That's
I'm surprised they've got roasted on this.
That's a full anime.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it looks no different than like any CGI animated show.
Right.
Like literally, you could watch that, no problem.
All right. And this is quote unquote the live action one.
I'm lasering this whole place.
Stop whining. Pick a meal. Your temper is wasteful, boy.
Why so serious? Let's just put a smile on that waiter's face.
It's not even Heath Ledger's face they put on there, but this is the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise one that they've talked about.
Oh dear.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man!
Oh my gosh.
Got our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to show too many more.
Wow.
But you can take me off the.
Yeah, I guess if I didn't know better, I would be very confused.
I would be insanely confused.
So
I think when it comes to live human people, I think the actors will have a leg to stand on as far as their likeness being used.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll be able to argue that they own their own likeness.
Yeah,
however, when it comes to animators, I think they're going to be hard pressed to argue based on the fact that animation studios have been using computer generated animation for a while, and this is just they're going to argue the next level.
Right.
For the animation studios, I can see them using AI to do stuff like this, but in regards of people outside of those animation studios, like just basically ripping the likeness of characters, that is going to be a lawsuit. That is going to be a lawsuit defining guideline that's going to get written, because as you can see, it's already happened. You saw plenty of characters from several different animes that are like big in the anime community, and it was from some person like over in China who probably has no connection with those studios at all.
Yeah,
and are getting used for it.
It's honestly going to be a uphill battle, when not just through animation, but through, actors' rights, and that's the main thing right there. Like animation studios, they might end up using it either way, just for their crossovers and certain stuff. They might hire whoever, whatever. But when it comes to an actor, and this also goes for voice acting as well, because you can clearly hear that is not the same voice actor as Goku or any other characters and whatnot. When it comes to them, they need to really just they need to do everything they can to stand up to be like, hey, you can't use my face unless, because they're, like I said, they're not getting paid for anything like that. Just because it's something that's out there doesn't mean you should do it. That being said, right now it is a wild, wild west. So if you are watching this and stuff and then enjoying it, enjoy it for now, I would say. Because I'm not going to lie, we went through a bunch of that stuff. And there's some of them that I actually enjoyed. Which is weird for me because I don't really like AI stuff like that.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where I did hear an argument that somebody did for pro AI use of a person's likeness or their voice or something like that in regards to voice acting itself. And he said it's going to come down to a contractual thing. It's like if the studio wants to use AI to, like you said earlier, they can be contractually obligated to say, no, you cannot use my likeness in AI. But it's going to be one of those things like if you say yes, then they should be able to compensate you for the entirety of the likeness that you are giving them.
Right.
For your program.
Think about it like this. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
For years and years, they recorded his voice for Darth Vader. And even he came back and whatnot to play Darth Vader in Rogue One and everything. He gave them rights, at least.
Yeah.
They could at least,
my understanding is that he's given permission for them to continue to be able to use his voice as Darth Vader.
Yeah. And that was the choice. He was probably compensated for it.
Yeah, he was. His family probably. He probably sat there thinking about his family. Because he's the voice of he's a voice that we know and whatnot. So even if if they go and just randomly use his voice like somewhere where it's just like
right, because voice recreation is possible too, and it's although we didn't see it in that particular the animation clip, there's programs out there that will allow authors to be able to give voice samples and then completely do audiobooks of their own books using their voice, but a computer recreation of their voice.
Right. I have seen programs that do that. My thing is that, okay, I'm going to say this. Like, yeah, those videos were impressive, but they were amateur at best, in my honest opinion. Just like the AI written stories. My family loves listening to the garbage of AI generated stories on YouTube. And you can always tell which ones are the AI generated garbage. Problem is that they're garbage enough, they're like a train wreck. You want to see what happens at the end of it. But and that's where a lot of people get their reviews, but it's still something like true lovers of reading and stuff like that would probably just bypass it as quickly as they can, because it's nothing but a rinse and repeat of the same storyline every single time. So,
all right, well, guys, right now I'll say this: as far as AI goes, we just have to keep an eye out and see what happens, because if they're going there next, who knows? The next Marvel movie could be there. If you guys, of course, want to read more about the AI stuff, I wrote an article, of course, on totalapexentertainment.com, so you guys can head over there. Also, don't forget, I want to hear your guys' opinion on this whole AI thing. Leave a comment in the comment section for us, because we want to know. How do you feel about the uses of C-Dance right now? C-Dance 2.0. So
it's like Scream 3 all over again. Dewey's got our voices, the voice changer.
No, you might want to say Scream 7. That's coming out pretty soon.
I hope it doesn't have too much, but you might be right, bro. You might be right.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew Lillard's back.
Lillard.
Man, that was a plan.
You got to play Roman, and
every single thing he just never dies, I guess you could say, because he was in FNAF, the original, the movie, the first movie, and he plays a guy who's literally constantly coming back inside the games itself. So I'm like, He's just the immortal. He's one of the immortal actors, in my honest opinion.
Yeah. Right. Well, from the AI world to the video game world, here's Molly with gaming.
Okay, so who's ready for a leak that just was shown out today?
A leak?
I'm ready.
leak, yes. We are going to be talking about the PlayStation 6 rumors that are starting to circulate once again.
I
Hold on.
will
Sorry, I'm
believe
having-
it. I will believe it when they release GTA 6.
True.
Oh, never.
What's up first?
But I'm just thinking with the cost of computer components, what would a PlayStation 6 even cost?
Okay, I might have an answer for you, but yeah, so let's see. These leaks are starting to paint a little small picture of the next powerful PlayStation machine that's going to grace our ever so lovely homes, possibly if the price is right. And the rumored specs of it are going to be Sixer is going to have a custom hybrid architecture like a PS5, I guess you could say. So the stuff that's in the PS5 is going to be translated over into the PS6. Let me see. I had my notes and then I got distracted. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I apologize. Rumored specs are 6 to 12 times the PS5 ray tracing performance. So yay on that. Up to an RTX 5090 level lighting for the graphics, with 30 gigabytes of GDDR R7 RAM, with 164-bit of BUS and 640 gigabytes worth of bandwidth. Basically, yeah, it's going to be a powerhouse, and honestly, I don't even know why people would want to get it unless they're going to be like some high spec games in the future. Mm-hmm. Which honestly, considering the trend a lot of games are taking when it comes to their own specs, it's probably going to be needed. So it's going to be interesting, not to say the least. Rumored price, $499. But there's a but. Oh, inflation could change that. As it always does. So if it's going to have all of these gizmos and gadgets inside of it, we're probably going to look towards more of a possibly 600 to 1,000. It just depends on the size of like your storage and everything, because you always know that the memory is the thing that makes it like the more expensive and everything. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, there is something called Project Canis, which is the rumored handheld that actually plays next-gen games natively. Mm-hmm. And that's fun. It's going to be faster than a Switch, and it's going to be a Switch 2, which, just came out last year, and is going to compete with the ROG Ally X, which is the Xbox handheld that's coming out, that has recently been a buzz. So, but like I said, this is a rumor. It's just a leak right now, but apparently Sony is gearing up for a huge generational leap when it comes to switching from the PS5 to the PS6. Let's see. And that's all I got for PS6. I can't wait to see what kind of design they have, because they've been going into like a retro, like a futuristic design for the PlayStation. So I can't wait to see how they actually design the thing. And then even more so, I can't wait to see like what types of games are going to be used in this thing, because I'm pretty sure that I'm picturing that if you put an old game in it, it might just blow the whole thing up.
Oh,
Listen,
because it runs
Great day.
makes the game run so slow. Just like
Great.
frisbee the CD out,
Like-
frisbee the disc out of the.
Like, I don't
thing.
even know that many people that still own, like, that still, like, play PS5 over, like, PC. Like, I'm not sure what the incentive is.
Andrew, you know a person.
I do.
I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those.
I know two people.
I'm
I
one
know
of
two
those
people.
I mean, what's wrong with a controller? I like a good controller.
Oh, you can still use controller for PC. Just plug it in.
It depends on the game. It depends on the game. But yeah, that I do say that it's like Steam is kind of trying its best to make consoles an obsolete thing, even though they're bringing in their own version of a console with the Steam machine that they're trying. They have been advertising for the last few months. But we're gonna see if Sony can keep up, because at one point they were way ahead of the handheld game when they did the PSP and the PS Vita, like a few years ago, and then everyone's like, no one's gonna buy that, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get the handheld generations. Corey's like, I got one of those.
I got that, and I still got a PS3. So
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I have a PS. I think I have a PS Vita.
Can this PS6 have way more memory in its hardware than a PS5 without having to get one of those external hardware?
that's what I want to know. And I want to know if you're able to use an external hard drive on it. Period.
Not that I can see, but
Because I'm already at that point with my PS5 where I need to get an external hard drive.
Oh no.
Oh wow, that's sad, my dude. That is sad.
I need to get one of those hard drives to put in.
But
Just get a PC.
just get a
No.
PC. You can save it in your library.
Don't you have the PSN network?
I do
They
have
can't-
that.
Your games can't just be clouded on there. The ones you ain't playing.
I could do that.
There you go.
Could do that.
Okay, and moving on to the next one, because I honestly don't have anything else about the rumor.
Oh my
If you recognize this guy, then one, you're old, and two, you were probably once the proud owner of a Sega Genesis console from way back when. This is
Sorry.
Sega. Yeah. Does anyone else hear Miku Hatsune Miku when they say Sega in their head? I do, because I played the game. Anyway, this is Hideki Sato, and he recently passed away at the age of 77. And he was the engineer behind every major Sega console.
Wow.
And he designed the SG-1000, the Master System, the Genesis and Mega Drive, the Sega Saturn, and the Dreamcast.
So can't do them all.
he was a huge like driving force behind Sega's developmental team. He brought arcade DNA into the home, shaped Sega's identity, and pushed hardware design into bold experimental territory. And the Dreamcast was his masterpiece. It introduced online play, the VMU, and the ideas that those were ahead of their time. Basically, he had online gaming in his head before online gaming was an actual thing. For all of us, like young whippersnappers, I guess you could say. Even more so, if you just want to say how much more impressive that he was, he actually became Sega's president when during its painful transition out of hardware, and his influence within the gaming community, the modern Sega retro culture, is still like felt, especially if you're having a console war debate, like which one was the best. BT Dub, it's always PlayStation. Everyone else was wrong. So
Love Adventure.
PlayStation.
but that's because I actually didn't have a Sega when I was growing up. I did know people that had it, but I never played it myself. I had a sad childhood. Not really. I'm joking.
I was grown up before it existed.
Do you guys remember and I don't know why, I know this is kind of whatever interrupting a little bit, but do you guys remember the mascot they had in the like 90s/2000? He was like a karate guy. And if you weren't playing like a Sega Saturn or something like that, he'd go around and start kicking your butt.
I vaguely remember that. Oh my gosh, I kind of forgot about that.
Wow. Gata Senshiro.
Mm.
I once saw him also do a death battle with Chuck Norris, and they ended up fighting into a whole other dimension. So,
oh yeah,
whoa,
because Chuck Norris, you can't beat Chuck Norris. You can try, but you can't. But yeah, a sad time in history that one of the golden architects of the gaming industry has passed, and kind of just ended a whole era of gaming just closed down a whole gaming era of history when it comes to that stuff. Or sorry, my dyslexia is kicking in. Era of gaming history. I apologize. I'm trying to read my notes. I apologize.
I think we understood.
We understood. Yeah. Listen, Big Bucket of Win. You know, that's somebody who has like inspired a whole generations of people.
Yes. It's like, even if you never played a Sega anything, you know Sega. It was a household name. It is still a household name, and it's thanks to this gentleman right here that it was. And speaking of companies having a nice little change in status or something like that, I guess you could say. This is an image from a game called Ashes of Creation. Right, it is a online MMO game. Kind of like, I guess you could equate it to Elder Scrolls, stuff like that, or games like that. Literally, that is the only game that comes to my head when it comes to this type of game. Sorry, I apologize. And basically, it became a crime scene, I guess you could say. But when it started out as a Kickstarter campaign in 2017, right? Mm-hmm. And they actually garnered like millions of dollars for this game, right? One of their designers, let me see one of my notes. Okay. Let me actually read off my notes. Ashes of Creations didn't just fail, it like literally detonated on itself, okay? What started as a 2017 Kickstarter success has spiraled into accusations of missing millions, investor warfare, and a studio collapse that feels ripped from a Netflix documentary. How does that? Honestly, that kind of makes me want to watch a Netflix documentary about that. We have an investor, Jason Karamanis. I apologize if I butchered his name, but he alleges that a $1 million loan went straight into another game designer, I think it was, named Steven Sheriff's mother, apparently. Basically, a lot of money got embezzled from this game company and did not go to what it was actually supposed to go to, which was the actual game itself. Which is sad, because if you actually look on the Steam page, the game looks decent, as you can see from this lovely image that they have on here. That we have on here, but $60 million deal collapsed, leaving the developers underpaid. A mansion was allegedly bought with company funds. Lovely. Steam revenue was allegedly diverted to cover that house instead of payroll. Kind of makes you mad thinking about it, doesn't it?
Wow. I can only imagine how their employees feel.
The studio may have been sitting on $100 to $140 million in debt for a game that never shipped. This game is not available right now. Like, and anybody that pre-ordered, I guess you could say, they're probably not getting it anytime soon. So their money just like it's gone.
That's awful.
And the guy who has made these allegations isn't without his own faults. Apparently, he made his fortune in an MLM. So his credibility right now is kind of sus, I guess you could say. So everyone's just kind of like taking what he's saying.
So he's just mad because he didn't get a piece of the embezzled money.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, but
of course, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. Allegedly.
Allegedly. And the final blow that Stephen Sheriff actually allegedly, again, we're going to use that majority of this time in this one, tried to redirect $3.7 million from the early access launch to pay off his home loan, as we said earlier with the Steam revenue, leaving laid off devs without pay. There's been a whole bunch of layoffs. This was one of them. And as we can see, this is where the money allegedly went to. And the IP now sits with investor Robert Dodson, and legal experts say that Sheriff could face personal liability if the allegations hold. Basically, he is on line for that $3.7 million worth of embezzled money. So, and this is a devastating end to what people have been waiting 9 years for a game to come out with. So all of their emotional like investment in this game, because this game looks awesome. I've seen the trailers for it and the images, and people have been putting negative reviews on Steam for it. Like right now, they are mostly negative with almost 8,000 reviews on Steam. It's like, holy crap.
That's sad. It's sad to see what could have been a really good MMO to perish this way.
And do y'all have any comments to say about it? If you're gonna do white collar crime, don't be stupid enough to get caught. No, don't. Please don't.
I mean, it seems like it was excessive, assuming you know what they're being accused of. That amount of money is going to be missed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
We're not talking an Office Space situation here where they're siphoning off fractions of pennies.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
This was just like, we'll just take all the money out of the account and give it to you.
And give it to your mom, buy us a house that we can't afford and everything. I was like,
right. I'm like,
dude, honestly, it was a short-sighted gain in my honest opinion, because if the game had finally launched and was actually a decent live service game, they would have made that back and more from just the revenue generated from this MMO, because people are willing to pay for live service stuff and the events, the stuff that you can pay extra for, because they actually they have an online store where you can go and buy cosmetic upgrades for your characters and get mounts and stuff like that and decorations. They could have made decent money from this game, but somebody just had to go in, put the cart before the horse.
Are all about their cosmetics. They love their fashion. They love their mounts. They love their pets. They will spend the money. World of Warcraft has proved that time and again.
Oh yeah, Michelle would know. She is one of the queens of the online gaming. I
played World of Warcraft for years, so I'm very familiar with the MMO models, and it's like, so to crash a game like this, I mean, there's gonna be no good is gonna come of this. So it's just really sad. Hopefully some of the devs will be able to pick up the pieces, and it's just like, the upper echelon of people who will get into trouble for the situation, and maybe they can pick up the pieces and put it back together somehow. But
I'm hoping so, because I was actually hoping for this game to launch, because it does look like a really decent MMO right here. But that's all I have for gaming. Back to you, Corey.
Thank you, Molly. Let's see how to do this. From Sims Living to Living. It's Michelle with Living.
Not gonna lie, I think we need a new image for that.
All right. So we're just at an hour, so I've got enough time to talk about this. So we have recalls today. We have recalls on peanut butter, baby food, and frozen salmon. So let's talk about the peanut butter. So first, don't panic. Most people are not going to be impacted by the peanut butter recall. However, there is blue plastic pieces in the peanut butter.
Oh, that's okay, babe. All you do is just pick that out. Come on.
No.
What's the brand? What's the brand?
So I will get there. I guarantee you do not have a jar of this in your home because it's not in jars. So basically what happened is that some piece of the machinery broke, and there were pieces of blue plastic. It was like a plastic filter or something that got into the product. This is a class 2 recall by the FDA. So basically there's a choking hazard, a potential issue. So, but what has been impacted are those little peanut butter things that you see in restaurants and continental breakfasts at hotels.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say Skippy or something like that because I just got a peanut butter jar of that.
Nope. So, yep. Nope. You're fine. So this is impacting creamy peanut butter and grape jelly, and creamy peanut butter and strawberry jam. Who knew these things came in little packages together? But they do.
Not the hotel business. Come on now.
Yep. So these are food service brands. Flavor Fresh House Recipe, Katie's Kitchen's Poco Pack, and Cisco House Recipe. And all of this can be found in the article on our website at totalapexentertainment.com under lifestyles and then food and drink, and it's in the news. Now, where can this peanut butter be found? In 40 states. So it went pretty much anywhere. It's a really long list. I'm not going to read it. If you do have it, you're going to trash it. If you are somehow a food service person or you bought an incredibly large number of this stuff for some reason, you can contact the company for a refund. Or your distributor, rather, for a refund. Then next up, we're going to talk about the salmon. I'll leave the baby food for last because that's everybody's scared of that one, right? So salmon, we're talking about frozen salmon from BJ's Wholesale Club. So this affects people in the Northeast where BJ's Wholesale Club exists. This salmon was made by Wellesley Farms. It is their farm-raised Atlantic salmon. Slade Gorton and Company is the overarching parent, apparently. And the problem is listeria.
Oh, listeria, our old friend.
Yes, it is our old friend listeria. Don't eat it. You cannot cook it away. If you have it, you want to chuck it or return it. I would return it. If you bought it from a wholesale club, I guarantee you have a ridiculous quantity of frozen fish. Take it back. This affects Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Virginia.
Well, yay.
Well, do you go to the wholesale club?
No.
Okay, then you're fine. You're fine.
If it was Costco, maybe we have a problem, but
yeah. No, so this stuff can make you sick. So do not attempt to cook it. If you do have it, if the bag was opened and if anything leaked out, you want to seal it in another bag and clean, sanitize any surfaces that it may have come in contact with. So like if
Your
it leaked in your
gloves.
freezer or something like that, you need to wipe it down with a mild bleach solution or a good disinfectant. You want to clean it up really good. This stuff likes the cold.
Mhm.
Cold doesn't kill it. And again, we have a full article on our website with the full details there as well. Finally, the baby food. This is Tippy Toes baby food. And this one is gross. So if you're eating, probably watch this later. All right, here we go. So the product that is being recalled is their apple, pear, banana, fruit. I can't say fruit. Puree.
Fruit.
Fruit.
So apparently this is some kind of like applesauce thing. I don't know. It comes in little cups for the babies.
It's a puree.
I am not a baby mama, so I don't know this stuff. I don't know. I don't have any babies.
Baby mama.
I'm not a mother. Anyways, this recall is coming from Initiative Foods, the parent company that makes Tippy Toes, and has been issued by the FDA. This one's actually pretty serious because it could affect children. There have been no illnesses reported yet, so it seems like they probably caught it in time. So the issue with the food is elevated levels of something called patulin, Patulin. This is a word I did not know until today. It is a mycotoxin, basically mold juice.
Ew.
Oh.
So what happens is this mold, it likes to hang out on rotting and damaged fruits like apples, peaches, and pears. And there's apple in this product. So if the fruit is bruised or damaged and the mold gets into it, and then it creates the patulin, and that stuff can survive pasteurization. So heat will kill the mold, but not the mold juice. And so that stuff can stick around in even cooked food. The FDA has strict limits on it. I cannot talk. Molly, you rubbed off on me. So there's a limit, 50 parts per billion. But when they did a test of this product, they found that it was too high. What can happen to you? Immune system suppression, nerve damage, and classic I feel terrible symptoms like nausea, vomiting, headaches, that kind of stuff.
Oh wow,
You
it's like the flu, but
Yep.
and the C word that we're probably still not allowed to say because of the P word that happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So, where was this product sold?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
The only state that is clear is Alaska.
I was about to say, is it Alaska?
Alaskans did not have this product at all unless it was somehow shipped to them by somebody who lives somewhere else. This stuff was distributed nationwide everywhere else in the United States and Guam and Puerto Rico. So if you live in anywhere in the US and you have this stuff, do not open it. Don't feed it to your child, for God's sake. Throw it away or return it. And if you have fed any to your child, watch their health. If something happens, definitely get them to their doctor, to a healthcare provider. Yeah. So there's a lot with this one. And it's gross. Mold juice in the applesauce for the babies.
And it's got pear in it too, because you said it hangs out on pears as well. So it's got double dose.
Yeah, it's got apple, pear, and banana. So, and the apples or pears were obviously the culprit here, carrying the grossness. So, lots of gross and messy stuff in our recalls. Head to totalapexentertainment.com, lifestyles, and then food and drink, and hit the news for all three of these articles so you can get all the details. Especially if you have any of this stuff in your house, you're going to want to know how to get your money back.
Basically, stop stealing from the hotels because you never know if there's going to be plastic in your peanut butter.
Yeah, I don't have a stash of this stuff, but I have been known when I'm on the road taking extra and shoving it in my bag before we hit the road.
We know how
everybody
many
does
towels
that.
you have, Michelle.
What?
We know how many towels you have, Michelle.
I don't steal towels. Just little peanut butter things off the continental breakfast bar. Because I can take them in the car and munch on it later.
This is true. Yeah, but don't do that anytime soon. Don't do that.
Oh, and those
anytime
giant muffins they sometimes have.
All right.
soon. Yeah. Okay, let's stop before I get hungry. Let's not
I'm
go
hungry. I
into
haven't had
muffin
dinner.
territory. Girl.
Lord.
All right, that's all. That's all I have for lifestyles today.
So, how much more time do we have going?
We are at an
we're
hour and
over.
10.
We're at
over, and they haven't kicked us off yet.
Not yet.
Oh Lord! All right. Well,
You're safe.
I guess I won't show it here. I wanted to show something on here, but maybe I can show you guys after and whatnot. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you guys. Of course, don't forget to head over to Total Apex Media YouTube page to subscribe if you're not. I mean, you're already here, but if you're someplace else, don't forget to like, comment, hit that bell, of course, and then don't forget to head over to our Spotify page as well. We're gonna still keep working on trying to get on iTunes and all that stuff, but so you can
hear all of our lovely voices everywhere you go.
Exactly. I've been Corey. Everybody, thank you again for joining us and here at the Total Apex family. Have a week.
Bye.